Picture this, an ancient desert that glows fire red at dusk. Beaches where kangaroos hop along the shore, and a sky so wide it feels like freedom. But this isn't just a postcard. This is your next solo rite of passage. Welcome to Namiro's Travel Bites, the sassiest passport to solo adventures. Today, we dive into a land of reef and rock, eucalyptus air and cafe flair, where every turn is a detour worth taking. Stick around till the end, because I've got a hidden slice of wild paradise that even Aussies whisper about. Let's roll! First stop, Sydney. She's not just a city, she's a charmer in designer shades. Start with a coastal flirt, Bondi to Bronte, where the sea whispers secrets and the cliffs blush at sunrise. Mornings shiver like champagne on the Opera House sails, glorious, unapologetic, and a little bit smug. Downtown, it's all cafe couture, where baristas pour flat whites with more passion than your ex ever managed, and the air smells like ambition and eucalyptus. Next up, Melbourne. She's a little broody, a little bookish, and impossible to forget. Down her laneways, graffiti spills like diary secrets, and vintage bookstores whisper to your inner rebel. The espresso, sharp as your best comeback and twice as addictive. And come twilight, you'll find yourself sipping cocktails on a rooftop where the skyline winks and your solo soul feels like the guest of honor. Slide up the map to Queensland's wild crown, Cairns, your sun-kissed gateway to the Great Barrier Reef. Here, solo doesn't mean alone. It means front row to coral cathedrals, sea turtles, and colors no filter can replicate. But the magic doesn't end at the shore. The Daintree rainforest pulls you into a green so ancient it remembers dinosaurs. Kayak solo at dawn, hike trails that hum old earth lullabies, or just breathe in air that feels wiser than you. This isn't sightseeing, it's soul healing. Feeling a little boho? Byron Bay is where your inner wild child stretches her limbs and sighs with salt-kissed joy. Mornings start with ocean dips, and afternoons roll into open-air markets scented with patchouli and pineapple. Sunset? Drunk circles spark up on the sand while strangers turn into soulmates over shared beats and borrowed blankets. Yoga studios spill onto verandas and conversations flow freer than the chai. Come solo, leave stitched into a story you didn't see coming. Then there's Adelaide, Australia's quiet, cool girl. She's the one spinning vintage records while pouring you vocal charades before you even ask. Indie art galleries tucked in laneways, live gigs that feel like private concerts, and festivals that bloom like wildflowers if you time it right. And just a blink outside the city, Barossa Valley whispers your name. Swirl, sip, smile, and your glass refills like magic. It's not a scene, it's a slow seduction. Don't sleep on Tasmania. She's wild, whispery, and a little witchy. Hobart feeds your soul and your stomach. Artisan sourdough, fresh caught oysters, and cafes where time forgets to tick. Port Arthur? Ghosts with stories, and trust me, they linger. Then there's Cradle Mountain, where the mist rolls like a spell, and every hike feels like you stepped into a fable. Tasmania doesn't scream for attention. She lures you in quietly, then never lets go. And finally, the Outback. Not a place, a reckoning. Uluru rises like a sunburned god, commanding silence and awe in the same breath. Gibb River Road? A dusty dare. Whispering, go off grid, go on, see who you become. Especially for the solo queens. Yes, you, women over 60 rolling fearless in camper vans. Out here, you're not chasing youth. You're rewriting what freedom looks like. Alone? Never. You're a movement on wheels. Now let's spill some real tea. Those reef tours with big flashy boats? Tourist cattle runs. You'll spend more time queuing than snorkeling. Go small, go eco, go early. Bondi cafes along the strip? Tourist tax galore. Cross the road better toast awaits. Outback Roadhouses, fuel up but don't trust the food. That mystery meat pie is not your friend. Pack snacks or research foodie-approved pit stops. And please, skip the city souvenir traps. If it says, "I love Oz," and costs $40, it's rubbish. Local weekend markets, chef's kiss. Finally, those blink and you miss it highway towns, if they look too convenient, they're hiding overpriced mediocrity. Go 5 kilometers off route and find the real soul. Now let's chew on this. You haven't lived until you've bitten into a fresh meat pie from a corner bakery. Hot, flaky, peppery. And sausage rolls? Not just for tradies, my friend. They're buttery handheld bliss. Sweet tooth? Lamingtons, pavlova, Anzac biscuits, and yes, even the infamous fairy bread. They're more than treats, they're edible nostalgia. But what's breakfast without a ritual? Enter Vegemite on toast. Salty, mysterious, divine with a flat white in hand. Aussie breakfast isn't complete without it. For the bold, bush tucker. Indigenous flavors like kangaroo, macadamia, finger lime, and yes, crocodile. Served in native-inspired restaurants, these dishes are culture on a plate. And we can't forget seafood. Moreton Bay bugs, market-fresh oysters, crispy prawns, and classic fish and chips by the sea. It's salty, it's soulful, and it pairs with ocean breeze better than any wine. Aussie solo travel? Generally safe and solid. The roads are long, the locals are warm, and the infrastructure's top-notch. But let's get savvy. Driving across the Outback? Fuel early, carry water, and don't trust your Spotify signal. It will ghost you. Nighttime solo strolls in remote areas? Let's skip that. Campgrounds and well-lit spaces are your besties. Caravan culture is thriving, especially among solo women owning the open road. Pop into campfire circles and you'll find stories, laughs, and maybe even a shared wine stash. Hostels and B&Bs are golden. You'll meet other solo stars and get insider tips from locals who love their towns like their own tattoos. And always stay connected. Whether it's Google Maps, offline maps, or DMing the Miro your travel wins, signal matters when roads stretch farther than your ex's promises. When the crowds get loud, here's where to hide and heal. Barossa and McLaren Vale. Not just wine, but indigenous bush food, lavender fields, and meals that tell ancestral stories. Tasmania again, because yes, it's that good. Cradle Mountain, Huon Valley, and Salamanca markets are poetry for the solo heart. Byron Bay's hinterlands? Think misty waterfalls, alpaca farms, and sunrise yoga that resets your soul. Far north Queensland beyond the tour boats? Bloomfield Track, Cooktown. And coastal reserves where the reef feels like yours alone. Australia isn't just a country, it's a canvas for the soul. From reef dives to red desert skies, this land sings to the solo traveler brave enough to listen. Forget the package tours and mass-marketed stops. This journey is about discovery, freedom, and flavors that linger long after your flight home. So, if your compass is spinning with wanderlust, smash that like, subscribe to this wild little corner of the internet, and tell me in the comments, what's your Aussie daydream? Is it sunrise at Uluru or Lamingtons by the sea? And if you thought Australia was bold, wait till we touch down in the teardrop of the Indian Ocean, where ancient temples rise through jungle mist, cinnamon perfumes the air, and trains carve through emerald tea fields like stories in motion. Next week, we travel to Sri Lanka, a land of spice and spirit, surf and serenity. So pack your sense of wonder and don't forget your appetite. Until then, travel solo, travel smart. Travel with heart. Namiro out.